Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello dear students, I am Dr. Mona Simalti from HNB Garhwal University. I welcome you all in this module, and today in this module we are going to discuss dental product, toothpaste as a dental product. So dear students, this module, which is in continuation to our previous module on cosmetics and cosmeceuticals, and previously related to the dental product, the structure of oral cavity and various diseases associated with the oral cavity we discussed, and from this module we are starting dental formulation. Okay, so this module we will discuss toothpaste. So this is going to be our learning outcome. What are toothpaste? What are their properties? Different types of toothpaste, formulation ingredient and their composition, advantage, disadvantages, their properties. So all these things, just after going through from this module, you will be able to know all these things. Okay, and we are going to follow this lesson plan. Types of toothpaste, properties, formulation ingredients, their composition, advantage, disadvantages, and their evaluation. So toothpaste, it comes under dentifrices or dental products. Okay, so the oral health care product which are used to improve and maintain your oral hygiene, these products are termed as oral these oral products are termed as dentifrices or dental product. Okay, so we will first classify dental product under two categories: regular cleansing dentifrices and medicated dentifrices. So dentifrices, they carry inert and bioactive substance that is going to help in maintaining the oral hygiene, and it provides cosmetic and both therapeutic benefits. So we can classify them in two categories: regular dentifrices, which are used just for cleansing purpose, and medicated dentifrices, which is having some therapeutic effect also. Okay, so regular dentifrices, they are used for cleaning and polishing the surface of teeth from for maintaining the oral hygiene. Okay, and it inhibits the formation of unpleasant odor, and it overall it freshens the breath. So these are regular dentifrices which are used by every individual on day-to-day basis, and the main objective of this use of this type of dentifrices is just for cleansing and polishing the teeth surface and maintaining the oral hygiene. Okay, so moving to next, that is medicated dentifrices. Medicated are cleaning preparation obviously, and they are for preventing tooth decay or the tooth cavity and other periodontal diseases. So in addition to the regular ingredients which are used in the formulation of a regular cleansing dentifrice product, some medicated ingredients are incorporated in them, like bacteriostatic, some bacteriostatic property, enzyme inhibiting and acid neutralizing agents. Okay, we will directly move to the toothpaste. Okay, toothpaste, I need not to give you the introduction of toothpaste, as toothpaste is used by each and every individual twice a day, and it is the most popular and very widely used preparation for cleansing the teeth, and it possesses the very huge market share among all the dentifrices products available. So this is about toothpaste. Okay, moving to the tooth gel. So this just I have introduced to make you understand the difference between, what is the difference between toothpaste and tooth gel. Okay, so what is the difference? So the basic difference is in the form of their consistency. Okay, both are categorized in the semi-solid dosage form. All right, and tooth gel. So tooth gel, it is also oral care product, and it contains a high level of silica, and it is smooth and often very clear and translucent in appearance. So this is the only difference, and the people have perception of some kind that toothpaste are always better cleansing agent as compared to tooth gel, which is not absolutely true. So this is the only difference in toothpaste and tooth gel. And one other difference, that is gel, it tends to be less abrasive than the traditional toothpaste. Okay, so this is the only reason why people, they differentiate between toothpaste and tooth gel, and they consider toothpaste better over tooth gel. For people with sensitive teeth, people with enamel defect, and people whose diet is short and on the diet is on the mineral, and that make up the tooth enamel, which lowers the abrasiveness and can be tremendous benefit cleansing an enamel as gently as possible, as to avoid doing damage to the vulnerable and irreplaceable enamel present. Okay, so this is the only difference between toothpaste and tooth gel. Moving to the advantages of toothpaste. Okay, so advantages of toothpaste, it delivers the active agents such as fluoride and xylitol to help to prevent the tooth and gum diseases. And recent advances in toothpaste enables the high efficiency of oral health delivery. Special toothpaste for kids are available with fluoride, containing fluoride, and with the relatively low abrasion value, as the children's or the children's below 10-year age, their gums are very tender, and so as to the harm which is created by the friction of the toothpaste when we brush our teeth. Okay, so they kids, we should always prefer the low abrasion value toothpaste for kids especially. And desensitizing toothpaste are also available. Teeth whitening toothpaste are also available. So toothpaste with a flavoring agent that help to eliminate or to mask the halitosis. So these are available in the various flavors. Hence it gives the consumer choice to choose the toothpaste of their choice particularly. Okay, and toothpaste are always easy to use, and they are available in the collapsible tubes. So combination of various contents available to combat the different oral health care need of individuals. So these are few advantages of toothpaste. Now what are disadvantages? Extended consumption of large volume of fluorinated toothpaste can result in fluorosis. Okay, so this is one disadvantage. It results in fluorosis. And fluorinated toothpaste can be either accurately toxic if it is swallowed in large amount of chronically toxic, or if it's swallowed in the large amount consistently. Okay. Next is triclosan, an active ingredient in many toothpaste, can combine with the chlorine to form a waterborne chloroform. Okay, so which is a human carcinogen. So this is second disadvantage. And although in the several studies, whitening toothpaste show the ability to improve the tooth color, so they have little side effects. So the most significant one is the enamel and dentine abrasion. Okay, so which in turn leads to increase in tooth sensitivity overall. So these are few disadvantages of using toothpaste. Okay, moving to the types of toothpaste. So dear students, this is important, this topic, the type of toothpaste. Okay, but let me first summarize till now in this module what all we have discussed. We discussed about toothpaste. What are toothpaste? What is tooth gel? What is the difference between these two things, and disadvantage and advantages, and different types of dentifrices, medicated and regular cleansing dentifrices. Okay, so now moving to the types of toothpaste. Fluorinated toothpaste, plaque and gingivitis prevention toothpaste. Okay, desensitizing toothpaste, fresh breath toothpaste. So this comes under the category of therapeutic toothpaste. Now cosmetic toothpaste. Cosmetic toothpaste, whitening and basically bleaching toothpaste they are. Okay, whitening and bleaching toothpaste they are, though they are categorized as a separate dental product. So we will discuss this in the next module, bleaching product. So basically they are used to bleach the discoloration of the tooth, which is considered disease for oral cavity, tooth discoloration. So they are used in the treatment of that. Okay, so therapeutic toothpaste and cosmetic toothpaste. All right. Now fluorinated toothpaste. See, fluorinated toothpaste, it contains fluorine, marketed as anti-caries toothpaste, or it has cavity protection. The nature is cavity protection, and they contain sodium monofluorophosphate and sodium fluoride and stannous fluoride. So this fluoride basically it helps in preventing the tooth decay and promoting tooth remineralization, inhibiting oral bacteria's ability to create acid, and by making the tooth more caries resistance. Okay, so this is about fluorinated toothpaste. Moving to next, which is plaque and gingivitis prevention toothpaste. These are marketed as anti-plaque and gum protection toothpaste. So they contain sodium lauryl sulfate, triclosan, zinc and stannous ions in that. Okay, so they have antibacterial properties and it prevents the formation of plaque. So that's why we consider them as anti-plaque toothpaste as well as gum protection toothpaste. Now types of toothpaste. Under this heading we will discuss the next anti-calculus toothpaste, marketed as anti-tartar toothpaste. So they contain tetra potassium and tetra sodium pyrophosphate, sodium hexametaphosphate and zinc as their ingredient. So dentifrices containing anti-calculus agent, they reduces the formation of calculus but do not reduce the level of pre-existing calculus. Okay. Next is desensitizing toothpaste. So these are different kinds of toothpaste. Basically the basic nature is to provide the cleansing, and they have some additional associated value added property. So this under this desensitizing toothpaste, so they basically marketed as anti-sensitivity toothpaste. Okay, so they contain potassium nitrate, potassium citrate and strontium chloride, and they are they have two mechanisms by which the desensitizing property it works. First is by preventing the transmission of the neutral signal by preventing the pain, and second is by blocking the dental tubules. So these are two mechanisms. Next is Fresh Breath toothpaste. So you might have Colgate Max Fresh gel or some sort of this, which we daily hear in the advertisement because they market their product like Fresh Breath toothpaste. So they contain peppermint, menthol and they contain the enhanced basically flavoring agents along with the antibacterial to fight and to help in the cleansing of the teeth. So next is tooth whitening toothpaste. Okay, so these toothpaste have abrasion value that is higher than the normal toothpaste basically, because the property which they have is the whitening property. So they mechanically remove the food and tobacco and the dental scar. Basically they are due to the person's habit to have tobacco and smoking and the other extrinsic strain from the teeth. So the surface strain can be reduced by adding the various chemicals to the toothpaste, and most of the strain molecules are included in passicle and they contain the protein. Therefore the enzymes such as protease and papain create the whitening effect. So now moving to the ideal characteristics of toothpaste. So it should be completely non-toxic, non-irritant to the teeth, gum and buccal mucosa. Okay, and very fine particle size that should have and should be free from the grittiness. Okay, the grittiness, the grittiness we consider the particle size when we touch them or when we feel them, we feel some grittiness in those particles. That means they have optimum particle size. Okay, but it should be very fine. So it must clean the dental surface properly without any scratches. Okay, should be easily squeezed out from the tube on the brush, should be easily spreadable on the brush, and consistency should be constant. If you keep the toothpaste applied on the brush and if you keep it for some time, it should not drain out from the toothbrush. Okay, the consistency should be constant. It should not dry out quickly and should not interact with the parts of the container. Okay. Now moving to the formulation of toothpaste. The raw material basically which are used in the formulation of toothpaste, the basic ingredients, or we can also consider them the building blocks of dental care product. We can also, because the ingredients which are used in oral care product which we generally use in toothpaste are more or less same which we use in mouthwash or which we use in tooth powder. So based on the consistency and appearance on the based on the consistency of the formulation, so there are little changes. So that's why we can consider them the building blocks of dental care product: abrasive, binding agent, detergents, humectant, sweetening agent, flavor, as well as preservatives. Now special ingredients are coloring agent. Okay, they impart the color, bleaching agent and lubricant, as well as some therapeutic ingredients. Now abrasive, so we will discuss them taking them one by one. Abrasive, they help in removing the stains from the teeth. Abrasive, okay, this is the main ingredient of any toothpaste or tooth gel or gel toothpaste are usually prepared by this abrasive. Okay, example you can take example like calcium carbonate, tricalcium phosphate, dicalcium phosphate, okay, aluminum sulfate and magnesium trisilicate. Okay, detergent, 1 to 3% of detergent, and they have the cleaning action. It also helps in the penetration of toothpaste to deeper tissue, and by their emulsification capability they help in the removal of the mucus also. Synthetic detergents, now widely used synthetic detergent in the toothpaste like magnesium lauryl sulfate, sodium lauryl sulfate, sodium lauryl sarcosinate and diethyl sodium lauryl sarcosinate. So these are few examples of synthetic detergents used in toothpaste. Humectant, they retain the moisture. We have discussed this humectant as in toothpaste additive in the previous module. Just dear students, please recall humectant. What was the main objective of using humectant in any cosmetic preparation? To retain the moisture and prevent the drying out of the products. Okay, so propylene glycol, glycerol, sorbitol, so they are used in toothpaste as a humectant. Next is binding agent. Okay, binding agents are usually in toothpaste to control the viscosity and they maintain the creamy consistency. Okay, viscosity is somewhat you can relate it to the rheological property. So these binding agents are used to give a optimum consistency to the product. Okay, so hydrocolloids are used and there are so many other binding agents. Next is sweetening agents improve the taste of the preparation in the mouth. Okay, saccharin, sodium and their salts are used as a sweetening agent. Next is flavors. Now flavoring agents, these are essentially used in toothpaste for the fragrance and for the good feel after the use. That's why different flavors are used. Peppermint oil generally used and clove oil and cassia oil and cinnamon oil, menthol, menthol which is very commonly used because it gives you a fresh breath after you brush your teeth. So these are different flavors which are used. Next is preservative. Preservative also we have discussed in additives of cosmetics. So preservatives, so please recall the preservative module where we discuss the different types of preservatives, their classification, their properties. So in toothpaste, preservatives are essentially added to prevent the microbial growth due to the presence of gum and water, because where the gum and water are involved, so there are chances of bacterial growth. Okay, so to prevent that growth of bacteria, some sort of preservatives are added so that they are going to protect the product for its entire of shelf life. So methyl para-hydroxybenzoate and propyl para-hydroxybenzoate in 0.15, that's para-hydroxybenzoate which is used in 0.15 concentration and 0.02% concentration propyl para-hydroxybenzoate it is used. Solvent. Okay, now water, which is very commonly used, so purified water is used in the toothpaste and its concentration is from 20 to 40%. Okay, it is also serves as a vehicle for the preparation of toothpaste. Some specialized ingredient in the toothpaste: anti-cavity agent, it prevents the formation of cavity. So by using this we can say bye bye to cavities. So sodium monofluorophosphate, sodium fluoride, organoamine fluorides and stannous fluoride. So these are some specialized ingredients used in a special type of toothpaste. Okay. Anti-tartar toothpaste plague, basically the dental plague, as you can see in this figure. So the example of anti-tartar toothpaste ingredients are tetrasodium pyrophosphate, tetra potassium pyrophosphate and disodium hydrogen pyrophosphate. So these are added in this kind of anti-tartar toothpaste, anti-plague toothpaste we can also say. So in this table, just have a look on the component like detergent, binder, colorant, flavoring agent, tartar control agent, desensitizing agents. There are few, and the amount, the percentage in which amount they are used. Okay, and what I have tried to give you an example along with the name of the component. So just go through from this table. Next is procedure for the preparation of toothpaste. Okay, So toothpaste can be made in stainless steel mixture or planetary mixture, okay, or any other mixture used for making the semi-solid preparations. So what is the procedure? What you have to do is gum and humectant, mix it, then it is mixed with the cold water, then uh, uh, pass this powder ingredient through the sieve binder and add this mixture to the aqueous medium, then add flavor, detergent and a stir well, and there you will get the final product. So this is just a brief idea of how toothpaste are prepared, but the procedure or the method may be different based on the type of ingredients which we are using. Okay. Next is evaluation of dental products. Okay, so evaluation is important to check the quality of your product, therapeutic quality of your product, as well as the overall appearance and of the product. So basically what evaluation parameters are used for toothpaste? Abrasiveness, which is very important. This is basically the visual observation, and RDA, that is relative dentin abrasivity value, is used for the common toothpaste. And here, as you can see in this figure, that medium, high and the harmful limit of abrasiveness, as you can see in this figure and in this table. Next is particle size. So particle size determined by microscopically or by sieving. So particle size should be ideal and should be in order to provide a good abrasiveness. As we discussed in the properties of the toothpaste, that they must have the fine particle size. So toothpaste should be free from any gritty feel basically, and to minimize the, so that we can minimize the damage to the damage of gums. So next is volatile matter and moisture. So a predetermined quality of product is taken in a dish and it is dried till the constant weight is obtained. It's very simple. So by this way we can check the volatile matter and the what the moisture is present. So the percentage of moisture and volatile matter can be checked out. Next is limit test for heavy metals. So lead and arsenic. So dear students, please remember how to do limit test of arsenic and lead. So the same limit test procedure is applied here. So I have not discussed in much detail. Okay, so just go through from the limit test of heavy metals. Okay. So this is your homework regarding this module. Go through from the limit test of heavy metal of arsenic and lead. Now the consistency. Okay, so consistency should be optimum to ensure the smooth flow of the product from the container. So it is checked, that is the viscosity. So the product viscosity is checked. So this is also one parameter and we will not discuss how to do the viscosity check. So we have already discussed in our previous modules. So and the next is cleansing action. So this can be assessed by brushing the teeth for 2 weeks with the toothpaste or the tooth powder, which is basically checked for the quality of cleansing action, and then examine the tooth before and after. So then there we can see the difference and we can conclude the cleansing action of toothpaste. pH of the product, which is very important, the 10% dispersion of the product which is made in the water, and the pH is determined and it should be optimum as not to damage the teeth and the gum. Now foaming property, how it is evaluated? Basically a fixed amount of the product is mixed in sufficient quantity of the water and we stir it vigorously. The foam generated is then observed for its nature, density, stability and washability. So this is about foaming property. So dear students, these are the references. Just go through from these references. So coming to the summary of this module. So we are going to summarize the toothpaste. So dear students, toothpaste is classified under dentifrices, dental product or oral care product. Alright, we have discussed its advantages, its disadvantages, properties, different types and building block of toothpaste. What are the material which are used to build the toothpaste? So different material we discussed: sweetening agent, preservatives and abrasives, humectant, alright, and some specialized ingredient. And we also discussed about the method, how to prepare the toothpaste, as well as we have discussed the evaluation part. Although I have not discussed the evaluation of toothpaste in detail, you can go through from the references, you can read it further for better understanding. So dear students, for exam point of view, dentifrices are very important and it is usually asked in the examination. The question from dentifrices is usually asked in the examination. So the question in what form it may be asked, what are dentifrices, and describe their properties, functions and formulation. So this way it can be asked. So the formulation part, you can draw a table, okay, you can draw the component, the percentage which it is used and the example and their specific action. So this way it will be very easier for you to represent your answer in the examination, okay. And the short answer, if it is asked from this dentifrices, is just like in the form of formulation of dental product, okay, the formulation of toothpaste. So this way, okay. So dear students, just go through from this module, and that's all for today, and stay tuned for more videos, and thank you so much for watching this video.